is that we're going to bring our top 10 students from the high school in terms of their academics, and we're going to honor them at the board meeting, I think the second one in April. Along with that, we're going to give them each $500. And you say, well, where does that $500 come from? Well, I just talked to a vendor who is pledged some money for 6 of them. I'm going to hit some other ones up by then, but we'll have the money. I'm going to donate one $500 myself, but there ought to be a tradition here in our school district that the top 10, not from money that we have, but we will continually look and ask vendors to give. And what is it? It's an investment towards their future. And so we will honor them at that meeting.
In looking at this assessment district, which resides in and around 14 and Dawn Road up on that, the Highlands Project, I think it was called. Highlands Project up there, and many spotted areas out here in the flats, south of Rosamond Boulevard. There are spotted parcels all out through there, and some along the 20th Street corridor. It's not one contiguous assessment district, but several. And what we have to do is we have to figure out how to get these parcels with these delinquencies in a position that they may sell, so that the bondholders will be receiving at least something for their revenues that they put forward. And this Burke, Williams, and Sorensen, and more in particular, Carol Fogelman, is the expert to do that. The revenues that it will cost for this contract will come from the assessment districts themselves in order to accomplish it. So it won't be coming for our water fund or our unbudgeted revenues. It will be coming from the assessment district. So that's what that's intending to do. We're asking for the board to allow us to move forward, to work to a solution to prevent the district from receiving a bad mark on our credits. Potentially, they could have an adverse effect on the RCSD should the RCSD not try to work to an equitable solution to address this before they mature.
Okay, today for Project READ, we will be creating some number lines. Remember how we have practiced doing this, say like yesterday?
Yes.
And we put numbers, any numbers, but they're in order, counting by ones. Then we divided the number line, one of them into halves, another into thirds, quarters, fifths, sixths, so on. Okay, we will be doing that again today. Okay? So, first, before you work with your partner, I want you to create, say, maybe 4 or 5 number lines, and then you will exchange with your partner. make sure you label an A arrow and a B arrow, and then they need to write what those arrows are pointing to, okay? Any questions? Okay. So the first number line, I want you to divide into thirds, okay? And remember, one of the rules of a number line is that between the whole numbers, each of those is divided the same. So if the first segment is divided into thirds, the second one will be divided into thirds, and the third one, and so on. The whole number line will be divided the same way, okay? Then do a number line with fourths, fifths, sixths, and from there you can create any divisions, okay? As long as you can actually read it and label it. So I want an A and a B arrow, okay? You can even make a space, that would be fine. Okay, go ahead and begin. Create about 4 or 5 of these number lines and then exchange with your partner. Wait.
On that 1/3 one, so you're saying we'll have 3 gaps?
Yes, 3 gaps. We call those segments.
Segments. These ones we've done so far, and these ones I've answered for you. And they've been good so far too.
Okay.
And the number lines are helping me understand how numbers work and how math is going to be explained later on in our lessons. And that when we listen to the instructions that we could make sure that we know it. And then when we do it, it's much easier than it was explained.
So, what is your favorite thing about Project Grade?
Well, I like doing the number lines since I learned it. It's fun. That's all.
That's all? You feel like it helps learning math doing this?
Hi, my name is Terrence. This is my group: Marlon, Jasmine, Lisa, and Evelyn Ronald. And we're doing fractions. You see here on my paper, we have 5 fractions done so far. And Marlon answered these 4. And we're still doing them, so
So number lines are really, really important then.
yeah, you're gonna have to use them through your whole life, so
So you might as well learn them correctly here now.
kids out there, use your number lines.
My name is Evelyn, and one of the important ways you can use a line segment is when you go to the shoe store to see your size, and when you're at the doctor to see your height.
So how else can we use number lines?
You can use it by the ruler when you're drawing. Well, that's all I got.
What can you use a number line for?
You can use it in the car to see how fast you're going.
So the speedometer is kind of like a number line?
Yeah.
Well, what have we learned from Project Read? Well, I know the students have benefited from the extra practice on the worksheets and the projects, but I think the best benefit has been that they're explaining how to do these different math concepts to each other, and then they can see it on YouTube and realize, oh, I could have explained that a little differently. So they come back with feedback to me saying, you know, it was great, but I should have said this, I should have explained it a little differently. So if they can teach it properly, then definitely they understand how to do that concept.
Well, Ginny, you go around all over the community talking about the high-speed corridor. What's your general feeling from most people?
It's split. As I mentioned during the presentation, you do have folks who are concerned about any kind of growth-inducing activity.
Right.
Folks moved out here for the peace and quiet, and seeing something like the Higher Desert Corridor come into play does change, can change the nature of that. We also have folks who have lived up here for a short time and see the growth in the community and see that there needs to be some kind of transportation infrastructure put into place.
Sure. But you'd say the majority is for it, pretty much, or?
Yeah, if you pull aside the concerns about the tolling, then yes.